What if the greatest kings and queens, the rulers of empires, were actually prisoners of their own blood? Imagine being born into luxury, only to carry a hidden curse, the fragile cost of centuries of inbreeding. From twisted family trees to rulers who could barely walk, history is filled with stories of royals who paid the ultimate price for pure blood. Today, we're uncovering 8 of the most shocking and tragic tales of royal inbreeding. And trust me, by the time we reach number 1, you'll never look at kings and queens the same way again. Number 8, King Tutankhamun, Egypt. Our countdown begins in ancient Egypt with the boy king Tutankhamun. He ruled more than 3,000 years ago, but his DNA tells a chilling story. Tut's parents were brother and sister. The result? Tut suffered from a club foot, cleft palate, and fragile bones that left him unable to walk without a cane. The golden mask may show a perfect pharaoh, but behind it was a teenager crushed by the weight of his bloodline. Number 7, Joanna of Castile, Spain. Known in history as Joanna the Mad, her story is less about insanity and more about inbreeding. Born from the notorious Habsburg dynasty, her family tree was more of a tangled knot than a tree. Joanna suffered lifelong mental breakdowns, paranoia, and depression. Some say she was simply a victim of political power plays, but modern historians agree. Centuries of intermarriage poisoned her bloodline and her mind. Number 6, Emperor Ferdinand I, Austria. Next is Emperor Ferdinand I of Austria, another Habsburg with the infamous Habsburg jaw. He had epilepsy, water on the brain, and could barely speak. His health was so poor that advisors joked he is fit only for having children. And even that, he failed at. The empire dressed him in robes of power, but Ferdinand's frail body was a living symbol of genetic collapse. Number 5, Princess Victoria Melita, Romanov Dynasty. Fast forward to the Russian Empire. Princess Victoria Melita of the Romanovs was stunning on the outside, but broken inside. Her family tree, tied to both the British royals and the Romanovs, carried deadly hemophilia. She lost children, lived with constant grief, and watched as her dynasty collapsed around her. The curse of inbreeding didn't just ruin her blood, it ruined an empire. Number 4, Charles II of Spain. There's one royal who embodies the dangers of inbreeding, it's Charles II of Spain. Nicknamed El Hechizado, the Bewitched, Charles could barely chew food, struggled to speak, and was infertile. His jaw was so deformed that he could not close his mouth. He was the last of his line, and when he died childless, it triggered the bloody war of Spanish succession. A dynasty ended, not by war or betrayal, but by its own DNA. Number 3, Pharaoh Cleopatra II, Egypt. Long before Charles, Egypt's Ptolemaic dynasty perfected the art of inbreeding. Cleopatra II married not only her brother, but later her nephew as well. Her children were also her nieces and cousins at the same time. For the dynasty, it was power. For the family, it was chaos. Cleopatra's story reminds us, even the most glamorous queens were trapped in a genetic prison. Number 2, King George III, Britain. Closer to modern times, Britain's King George III, known as the Mad King, was a product of generations of cousin marriages. He suffered violent mental breakdowns, talking for hours to walls, and even shaking hands with trees, believing they were people. Doctors at the time blamed stress, but historians today see a deeper truth: centuries of royal intermarriage that left him vulnerable to mental illness. Number 1. Maria I of Portugal. At the top of our list is Maria I of Portugal, remembered as Maria the Pious, but also Maria the Mad. She married her own uncle, and her children paid the price. Many died young or with severe health problems. As she grew older, her mind deteriorated. She screamed during church services, suffered terrifying visions, and eventually had to be locked away. The royal crown glittered on her head, but inside, Maria was broken by the very bloodline meant to keep her powerful. From golden thrones to silent tombs, these rulers show us that power built on pure blood was an illusion. The castles were real, the crowns were real, but the cost was hidden inside the body and mind. History's obsession with bloodline created monsters, victims, and tragic legacies that still haunt us today. So the next time you hear about kings and queens, remember, behind the jewels and portraits, many were prisoners of their own DNA.